This conference will now be recorded.
I'm opening the developer console. So I think we planned to develop one of the elect component. So in last session, what we did, when we click on save, we are validating everything. If everything is fine, we are inserting all this information into the database. Once we get the response, if it is succeeded, we are trying to show the toast message, but toast message won't display when we use the application. Wherever the toast message is not supported, I'm going to show one message which we are going to develop in a custom way. Okay, so here to show that message on the UI, we need to place the logic, but the message I want to show in multiple places. I want to develop one of the reusable component. So for that, so I'm creating one of the component or a component. Press F1 or a component. I think still the extension is loading. Now or a component. I'm giving the name as alert message. So that is the name. So I think it is creating. Okay, so here to show the alert message, we don't have any standard component in the component library. Okay, so that's why I'm using the lightning design system.com. So here, go to component blueprints, click on alert. Okay, so here we are going to use this one. Let's say I'm copying this, copy and save. So this is the markup. So now the thing is, in the lightning components or lightning web components, this referring the SVG icon like this is not supported. If you try to save, maybe in HTML, maybe same thing if you keep in the Visual Force, it will work, but not in the Aura component or lightning web component. So directly referring SVG icon like this is not supported. For that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use lightning icon. Okay, if you go to the component library, go to component library, we have one of the standard component lightning icon. Instead of that, we are going to use that lightning icon. So these are the utility icons. Okay, to refer the utility icon, this is the way. Okay, so just I'm copying this. Instead of this SVG, we are going to use that. But for us here also error. Okay, the utility icon name error. So I think it is fine. Now let's see how it looks. Deploy and see how it looks. Okay, so it is not deployed. Let me check. So invalid. Okay, so here okay, there is one more icon actually. This is for close. Here also, instead of the SVC, we are going to use this icon. But in this case, it is close icon. Utility close. Okay, this is icon I'm using. I'm just removing this. Deploy. So it's deployed. Now go back. Now let's see. I want to see here how exactly it is working. C colon alert message. Click on preview. Yeah, this is how it is looking. But it should be displayed in a inverse way, right? So inverse way, and I think this size is more. I think those things we have to take it. So when you go to this lightning icon, to show the icon in inverse, we have I think variant inverse. Variant. We have inverse. Right? I'm using variant is equal to inverse, and also size. I think small. I'm going to use small size. Size is equal to small. Okay, in the same way, these two attributes for the above icon, whatever we are showing, I'm adding and deploy. Okay, now let's go back and refresh. I think now it is looking better, right? So now I think it is fine. So now the thing is, since we want to make this one as reusable, right? Again and again we are going to reuse. I want to provide some configurable attributes. Let's say I want to show in a success manner. Okay, instead of showing as error, I want to show in a success way, right? Success, so all those things. But only if you go with this alert. Here we have warning, error, offline, some of the information. Basically, really, let's say I want to see in the green color. Utility, here if I simply change to success, it is not going to change the color to success. Okay, so maybe let's see. So I'm just changing to success to see really it is changing to green color or not. Okay, really it is not turning to success, right? So that's a problem. So for this, what I want to do, if you go to this Lightning Design System website, under utilities, we have themes. Okay, so here we have shared. Here I think we can also apply the success. All those things are there. Right, warning success, SLDS theme success is also there. Okay, somehow I'm going to make use of this. Okay, copy this. Here SLDS theme shared, and so maybe this I'm going to copy. Instead of this, I'm going to use that. Okay. Now let's say here I'm going to give a success. Okay. So now let's see how it is looking. Just a refresh. Right now it is showing as success, but it is showing in the next line. Okay, so that I don't like. Same styles I'm keeping, and on top of that I'm adding this. See. It's not applying. Maybe this style I'm removing. Okay, SLDS shade. Yeah, still I'm giving a shade. Okay, so maybe let me give a success. And now you are seeing a success. Okay, I'm just keeping this. And now we are going to play with this. Now instead of success, if you give error, how it looks. It is also looking fine. Warning. So basically, we also need to change the icons. We'll do that. I think this is looking fine. So by default, I'll keep maybe this one we are going to replace with one of the attribute. Okay, here I'm going to define one of the attribute. Aura attribute name equal to severity type string. By default, we are giving as error. This is the attribute. Now, dynamically, if you want to append that, so what we have to do, we have to enclose this entire thing in the dynamic expression. And from here to here, it is static. Right, from here to the rest of the string is also static, means there is no change. But here dynamically we got severity. Right? We need to give this severity, which is dynamic. Okay, so just understand that. Now also I'm going to give this one here. Maybe icon error. In this place, maybe success in such a way I want to control. Okay, this one also in a dynamic way. from here to here, same thing, plus from this part to remaining static. This is dynamic. Okay, I'm giving that. So that is the thing, and also this utility, this also should be dynamic in this place, plus v dot severity, and maybe this alternative text also. We are going to supply as success or error. It's like that. All those things alternatively it will give. Now just deploy and see how it looks. Now by default it is error. Line column number 8.
There's an extra curly brace at line number 8.
Extra curly bracket.
Yes, line number 8 after severity. Below that line.
Yeah. V dot, I think this is okay. Here we are missing one of the single quote, and now it is saved. Now let's see how it looks. Now we should see error. Error. Now how I can control whenever we add severity, success, right? Success symbol, warning. Okay, so warning. Those colors also it is showing. So that means everything is working fine. Okay. Now, and also the message should be reusable. We should be able to supply whatever we want. Okay, for the message, again, I'm defining one of the attribute message. By default, I'll say maybe I'm not giving anything default. Message should be here. Whatever user enters, that message. V dot message. Okay, and also link name and link URL. In case if you want to supply the link, I also want to provide option to provide the link name and the link URL. Two more attributes I'm taking. One is link name and the link URL. Yeah, but this link I want to show only Aura if really link name is there. Only that time I want to show. Right? Link name and link URL both are there. Only that time we are going to show. Okay, is true. We are going to show this if v dot link name and v dot link URL. Right? If both are there, only that time it is going to show. So here it should be v dot link URL. Here it should be v dot link name. Okay, deploy. And also somehow end is not supported here. That time we need to give like this, or we can use the end function. Okay, now it is saved, and the message anyway. Now let's see how it is looking. Nothing is there, right? Because message is not there. If the message is not there, it is unnecessary to show everything, right? I don't want to show this if the message is not there. So our if is true, only v dot message. That means if there is a message available, only that time show this. Otherwise, don't show this, right? It is like a truthy value, falsy value. If there is some content is there, it becomes true. If it is null or empty or undefined, so it becomes false and it won't enter inside. Okay, so just a deploy. And also I think here this part also will change. Okay, so go back. Now we should not see that message. So when we see, we are going to see that only message is equal to viewing like this. Now I think it will show. So I want to give some link URL and link name, link URL. I'm giving that for sample purpose. Now if you see here, it's also showing link, but there is no space. Okay, so when you have like this is a free text message, and this is the anchor tag. Somehow, if it is not showing, we use some ASCII codes. Okay, NBSP. Okay. Through this, we can maybe apply the space. And now, if you see, okay. So I think now it is okay, but the link should open in maybe new tab, right? So maybe here target blank. Target blank means the link will be opened in a new tab. Just refresh. Okay, now I think it is looking good. Now this is a reusable component. Okay, so we are going to use this component now. Now here, this is how we refer. Right? So copy and go to our component where exactly we want to use in the demo registration here, right? So here, somewhere on the top of the page, I want to display. Maybe about to here inside this. Okay, but I want to anyway, if there is no message, it is not going to. It's going to show the messages here. But I don't want to, it is like a dummy, right? I mean, hard coding. I want to supply from here, whatever we set. Okay, so what we do, so all these things, maybe copy. And to maybe reflect when we refer whatever we supply from here, that should be shown here. I'm also maintaining all those attributes here. For the purpose of alert message, keeping these attributes here. So here while supplying severity, whatever in our attribute we have, same thing. The same way message v dot message link name, same thing v dot link name. V dot link URL. Okay, all these things. Finally, deploy. Oh, sorry. So I want to deploy that entire component. Anyway, still we need to make few more changes. Okay, so this one, and now when exactly we need to show this in the controller here in our helper here. Okay, in order to show that on the UI, all we need to do component dot set. Here we have to set the message. What is the message you want to show? If there is some message, I think it is going to show that here the message should be here whatever our Apex method is returning that message. And also since this is a success scenario, severity we give success. Link name, link URL I am not going to give. Okay, due to that it will show. So let's say in case of the error, right? So here we need to display error, right? So here I'll say error. Anyway, whatever the error message is there, same thing that we are going to add. Okay, so that's it. I think it is working, and maybe instead of writing this much logic, either it is success and else, maybe writing a lot of logic irrespective of the success and the failure. If you want to simplify this logic, just remove it. Removing instead of repeating this 2 times. Only this one we need to control, right? Success, the title and these things only we need to control. Okay, so here let's say we are going to use ternary operator. This success we are going to give us type success. Else, so else we give this as error. Here also same thing. Okay, the message will be same. Whatever server returns, that message. Right? In the same way, here also, while adding, I can give this. Okay, so that way no need to write more logic, both scenarios. So I think that's it. Okay, so now let's see how exactly it is going to work. Even in case of this kind of error, if you want to show all of this, okay, that also maybe we can give here. here message will be say exception state plus. So maybe I'm also going to show all these messages so that straightforward. I'm converting from for a string. If you are appending this entire object, it returns object. To see details, we need to stringify. This message also it will show on the UI. Any failure we are going to see on the UI. Right. So now let's deploy and see. Deploy. And go back. Maybe this one we don't need. I'm removing. Okay, I'm saving. You see, registration record has been successfully saved. So that is the message we are seeing. So if I click on close right, nothing is happening. I think I want to do this. Okay, so if you want to control that, in the alert message, control P alert message component. So we need to clear this message value so that this is not going to show. Okay, so that should happen on click on this icon. So close icon, right? Close icon is this. Maybe it is in the button. Okay, so let's maybe take on click on this button. I'll say maybe C dot close. Close. Maybe go to this controller. Close. All we need to do component dot set replacing v dot message with blank. So that's it. Deploy. Just refreshing. Click on save. Now when I click on this, it is closed, right? Again, when I add it, again it is adding. So that means it's fine. Okay. That is to show the message or hide the message. Now the next thing, this is going to save. Really, is this information is saving? You can also check. Maybe let's write a query select ID comma name from registration underscore C. Name is a auto number. Let's say first name, last name, Korean C. Registration spelling is wrong. If you see, I think it is also allowing duplicate. So now after saving, what should happen? I want to show one of the button in red color. I think if you open our mockup, this is the one. So red color button on top, I want to show. So when we use card, actually, if you go to the card, go to Lightning component library, go to card. To show the buttons on top as an action, you see here we have Aura set attribute action. Like this, I'm taking. Go to our component. Inside the card, maybe here. This is for the estimation button. Okay, and also the look and feel should be, if you go to button, destructive. I want that. All we need to do, variant is equal to destructive. Right? So variant is equal to destructive. And also, if you see the mockup, that should be estimate fee. That is the label, estimate fee. And also, we don't want to show this every time. When really the record is succeeded. If there is error, that time I don't want to show. Right? So how we know that the record is succeeded? If you see in this response, whatever we get, we have is success, right? If this is success is true, that means record is inserted successfully. Only that time I want to show that estimate, okay, that button, right? So maybe I'm defining one of the attribute. To hide or show the estimate button. I'm taking a boolean. Show estimate, maybe this is the attribute name. By default, I'll say default false. We are not showing. And by default, this is not going to show. Or if is true, when we are going to show, only if this value is true. So when we are going to make this true, after the server call, the record is inserted successfully. So that time. So this one here in our helper, straightforward once we get the response. So here, just we are going to add one component dot set v dot show estimate. This value should be either success or failure, right? If it is success, that time this will show. This is going to show them. Okay, and also I want to disable the button. Okay, so if the show estimate is true, I want to disable the save button to avoid to click on that further to that. Okay, now say disable. Okay, so disabled by default show estimate is false, right? it is going to disable. So we need to use v dot. Okay. By default, it is false. That means disabled false. We are good. Once we enable, it will show the button and it is also going to disable. Okay. So now on top, when we use this, we are using v dot. Okay. Here also v dot. I think we are good. Okay. So now let's save and test this. Deploy. Actions was not found on the component arrive. Okay, so now go back here. I think so. This set should be direct child of the card. Now this part I am moving to outside. Clearing. Okay, like this I am giving. Deploy. So now it is deployed. Now let's quickly test it. Adding. Save. Saved, right? And the save button is disabled, right? So saved, and now, so really, if they want to estimate the fee after registration, what are the courses they want to choose and what is the fee, they can click on this. On click on this, we need to show, so one of the pop-up, in that pop-up we have to show the available courses. They can choose the courses and click on next, so that it will show the prices. Based on the courses what they choose and estimate, it has to automatically show the estimation. That's what should happen. Now I'll click on this. First I want to show a model pop-up. So I'll say I'm going to create one component, show to choose the courses. Okay. So first we need the model component. So let's say I'm going to give that component name as courses selection. Okay, I'm creating one of the component for the courses selection. Okay. Press F1 or a component. And after creating that, we'll see where exactly we are going to place it. So course, maybe course selection. So let's say this is the name I'm giving. Okay, now here to show the model pop-up. And also to quickly see the preview for that. For now, I'm adding that here. I think I did not deploy. For now, I'm adding there. Okay, no, nothing is there. Now for that, to show the model in the Lightning Design System website, go to Component Blueprints, choose the model, click on Models. So I want a big one, big model, not this much small. Should have more width. You see like this. I want a small, not small, large. It's like this. Okay, you can copy this. Copy, paste here. Okay, so this is how it is. But here, wherever SVC is there, so that won't work. Okay, this SVC, it won't work. This entire thing, I want to delete this and add with our lightning icon. Go to component library, or completely you can also use the lightning button. Okay, so inverse variant. This entire thing is a as button icon. We also have button icon. Right? Button icon. So which style you want, you can pick. Okay, now if you see whatever we copied in the lightning design system, on click it is highlighting like that. So I also want like that. Go to lightning design system. On click only, by default it should not highlight. On click only it should do this. Okay, so when you want that thing, this is how we need. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the one. And we need that in inverse variant. Inverse. So we need like this. I can copy this. Instead of this entire thing, I'm using, and this is for close inverse, and okay, that is fine. This is a button icon. Now in the same way, scroll down. I think there are no other icons. Okay, for now, let's save it. Go back. Just refresh and see. Now we are seeing a model pop-up. Like this button icon, right? That is completely not visible somehow. We are not seeing that. I think this approach is not working out. It's better to replace only this part. Okay. Then button icon. Use button icon. Sorry, only icon. Use. Go to icon. Utility icons. This. But variant should be inverse. This is a close. Okay, now let's see. Just to refresh. I think now it is looking fine. And also this heading I want to change. So here model header, this is heading. That is a heading I am giving. And inside the body, I'm going to show the model box. Okay, so go to this models. Sorry, multi-select pick list I want to show. Go to this component library. We have one of the component called dual list box. So I want to show this. Okay, simply, I'm just copying this. In this content, I'm giving that. Here I'll say courses, select the courses, available, selected, select. This is help tip. Okay, so options, maybe I'm copying from here, and as per our requirement, I'll make change. Here we're keeping. So here, let's say I'm giving as admin. Dev QA, sorry. All these things I'm adding. Okay, I think for now, all these values, it will read from here, multi-select. So let's see how it is looking now. Just a refresh. You see it is showing like this. We can choose whatever we want. But the thing is, how it can remember the selected values. For that, again, if you go to this, you see handle change. All selected values will be coming into this parameter, get param and this. So I'm going to maybe already handle change is referred. I'm going to add some logic. Okay. Go to controller. Selected option value. So actually, basically all values, if you choose multiple, all values will be here. Okay. But whatever the values it gives in the, I'm just printing in console and show you, comma separated. All those values, when you say toString, all those values will come up in the comma separated. Okay, so let me deploy that. Go back, just refresh, inspect. Anyway, handle change, it is going to call that, and whatever we are printing, whenever I add, okay, so that is not coming up. Let me see if this is called handle change. We're calling get parameter console.log, and we are printing that. Okay, so maybe really I want to see what is happening, why it is not printing. Just debugger. So as a developer, quickly again, instead of searching in browser and again keeping the debug point, when you inspect the time, when you when you are in the browser inspect and when you are seeing the preview, that time it will stop in the debug. Now I'm choosing, it's coming here, somehow it's producing, it might be producing some. Let me click on, maybe do one more time. Immediately it is going. There is something, some exception is coming up. Okay, so before it reaches there, here I am just checking. There are three values, and when we say console.log, okay, here I have renamed that attribute and somehow I did not change it here. That's the problem. Okay. So we have to debug like this. Every time when we change, it can detect. By that time, we have to see multiple results, right? If we see admin div Aura. But I think now we have a plan to save all these selected values. We are going to create one multi-select pick list in the registration object, and we need to store into that. But multi-select pick list field in the database, it expects all the values separated with the semicolon. But here we are getting all the values in the comma separated. All I'm going to do, I'm going to replace this by, there is a function. Maybe this was not there in older JavaScript. As per latest JavaScript, you can use replace all. Wherever comma is there, I'm going to replace that with semicolon. Okay. And also this one, this replace all we can only use for string actually. We have to convert this into string and replace. That is what we need to do. Okay. Now like this, I'm giving, deploying. And successfully. So now maybe if you choose multiple values, you see those are coming up with semicolon, so that it will fit for our requirement. When we save into database, we can save into, we can supply that parameter directly. Here I'm defining one attribute to hold the selected courses. Okay, here Aura attribute name selected courses. Maybe to make it simple, say like this, type string. I'm going to save into that component dot set v dot into that. It will save this. Okay, so now finally we have the selected courses. Okay, so now based on that, it's what we do tomorrow. this button, I'll say save and new. When we click on that, it should hide this multi-select quick list component, and by supplying these selected courses, it should invoke one of the table where, based on our selection, all the courses information, let's say in the database related to these courses, some information like what is the fee, what is the duration, so all that it should return and show in a table. So that part, since we don't have time, tomorrow we'll deal with that. Okay. So before ending today, any questions, anyone? Okay. So I think I shared JavaScript videos with you, right? So just I recommend you to watch those also. Maybe after this Aura, we take 1 week break. Maybe you can watch those JavaScript videos, and if needed, maybe I'll also take few more sessions. Maybe you can parallelly watch those JavaScript videos, and I'll also explain about the modern JavaScript features for 1 week. So yeah, for today we have done. Any questions before I end this meeting? Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. Thank you.